So now I'm looking to see whether I'm being heard. Yes, I'm being heard. Okay, I'm going to start again. Blah, blah, blah. Hello, San Diego. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'm Andrea Koochin. This is my home biz tips. And today we're talking about laziness. Now, I'm still doing the value series. The value series that came out of nowhere, just my imagination, after I had been to an event and started talking about value, as in offering value to your clients and finding out what your clients value, right? And then we've had loads of different episodes of the value of all sorts of things, because I realized there are lots of really important things that we as business owners underestimate. We don't quite understand how valuable they are. And I've been talking about really positive things the whole time. Now, last time, for the first time, I talked about a subject which is arguably negative. I talked about the value of fear. Okay. Now, those of you who can't lip read and won't be able to understand what I said a few minutes ago, let me rephrase just very, very briefly. So, fear tells you basically that you're stepping outside your comfort zone. And outside your comfort zone is where you find growth and success. Nobody ever won the Olympics by staying comfortable during their training, right? No amazingly wonderful person who's been successful in anything at all, learning a foreign language, playing the piano, becoming an inventor, becoming a multimillionaire business owner, becoming an athlete. Nobody's ever been successful at anything staying inside their comfort zone. So the value of fear, and I went into more detail about this last week, so look up the thing from last week, is the fact that you're stepping outside your comfort zone, which basically means success is on its way. Because now we're in a place where there will be growth and movement, and whatever it is that we're trying to do is going to be successful. Because we stepped outside our comfort zone, and we know that because we're scared, we're frightened. Okay, so that was last week. This is this week. This week, again, I'm going to focus on something that seems like a negative. I'm going to focus on laziness. How weird is that? If you know me at all, you know that I'm anything but lazy. In fact, I'm almost obsessively doing something all the time. When I first met my husband, I couldn't even sit down at home and watch a film without doing something else, which might have been going through my receipts, doing my bookkeeping, repairing something, stringing a bead necklace, making a pair of earrings, whatever it was, knitting a sweater. I couldn't sit still. I had to be doing something. So lazy is not who I am. But laziness is a word that I use when I'm talking about being efficient with my time, my energy, my efforts, even my money, in order to be better at something, right? Because I don't want to use any more effort than I need to in getting my business going, right? And I think you're probably the same. Let me tell you a story. My husband's not listening, I hope. Okay, when we first met, when he went to the mailbox, he used to bring the mail back. And if his name was on the envelope, say it was one of those long, narrow ones, he would tear the end off, pull out the contents of the envelope, open up the page, read what it said, and if it wasn't something that he could trash instantly, he then folded it back up, put it inside the envelope again, and put it aside somewhere where I could find it, or just gave it straight to me. That means that I then have to go back to the envelope, pull out that piece of paper again, and unfold it again. Or if it's something he's just not going to deal with now, he's going to deal with it later, he has to do that same action for the second time. Now, I am too lazy to have two people doing the same thing twice, or even more stupidly, one person doing the same thing twice. So once you've taken a letter out of an envelope, don't fold it back up and put it back in the envelope. What? Anyway, that's the kind of thing that we don't even realize we're doing that wastes time. Now, I know that's a very silly example. I mean, really, how long does it take to open an envelope and take a piece of paper out? Nothing really. But when you add up over a lifetime, it actually does begin to add up to time, especially if you're getting a lot of mail, especially if a lot of it is not being processed right away, it's being processed later. So that's what I mean. I mean that you're not willing to put more effort into something than you need to. So I have a policy in my business, at my desk. I will only touch a piece of paper once. So I take it out of the envelope, I touch it once on that occasion. I either bin it, or I give it to the person who needs to deal with it, or I put it in my pending, depending on what it is. If it's a bill that needs to be paid later, I'll put it in my pending tray. When it comes to being paid, I do all my payments online anyway. I just go through that drawer, that tray at the end of the month, just to make sure I haven't missed anything, and then it goes to be filed. I don't move bits of paper around all the time. Now, that is an understandable because it's a physical thing, a piece of paper. But an email in an inbox is the same sort of thing. It might not come in as a physical piece of paper, but it comes in representing a physical piece of paper. So I have the same policy. Now, taking that to a bigger level, we've got CRMs, customer relationship management systems, that remind us what to do. We have planners that we can put information into so that it's all there, or calendars, online calendars that you can use, so that we're putting information into something that makes it easy to access later on, right? We work with systems and strategies to to allow you to be lazy, to allow you to actually spend less time doing things that don't matter so much. Whatever your business is, it has a tremendous value in this world. If you're listening to me, if you're part of my community, chances are that you're doing something which has great value, possibly to large numbers of people. And that's what you should focus on. You shouldn't be focusing on silly admin-y things to do with your business, which can be done by somebody else, or could have systems set up that sort of semi-automate them. A lot of it can be done automatically. You know, if you're using a calendar system, for example, like Calendly or Acuity, or, there's hundreds of them, they send a reminder to the person. So that's semi-automated because somebody can just click on your link, on your calendar link, and they can go and book an appointment, and they get a reminder, a confirmation first, then they get a reminder. And in fact, if you want to talk to me, here's my calendar link. You can actually try it out. If you go there to book an appointment to talk to me, then my calendar will show up. I don't have to tell it when I'm available and when I'm not available. So I can be completely lazy on that. All I have to do is put things into my calendar and it relays them automatically. Then you choose the time. Then the system sends you an email to say you've just booked with Andrea Koochin at such and such a time. Then, I believe, the morning of the appointment, you then get a reminder email saying, by the way, you're meeting with Andrea in whenever it is. So that's how that works. So I can be really lazy when it comes to making appointments. It's not really lazy, but it saves both people involved in the process from emailing each other backwards and forwards, or texting each other, or even getting on the phone and spending time working out something which isn't so important. When I'm going to meet with you is not as important as actually meeting with you. That's where I focus my attention. Okay. It's the same with some of my emails, and I've talked about how I organize my emails before. In fact, I've done a whole video on using Google in order to make life easier and showing you things that you might not know. So dig out the Google one. I'm not sure whether that was one of the value series. Could have been the value of Google. Can't quite remember. But anyway, dig that one out because that one's got lots of ideas. So the purpose in being lazy is to simplify things for a really, really big and important reason. When things become too complicated and you feel as though you have a massive amount of, of stuff to do. Did you think I was going to say something else then? Stuff to do. You can become overwhelmed really easily. Overwhelm leads to stress. That leads to not getting stuff done anymore, which leads to your business completely collapsing. That would be the worst thing ever, not only for you, but for the people that you serve, the people that you care about, the people who are relying on you to help them, whether that's now or in the future. If your business goes under or disappears, or you go and get yourself a proper job instead of helping people, the whole world loses out. We don't want that. So we want to avoid overwhelm as much as possible. So we make life as simple as possible so that you can be very lazy when it comes to doing your background and your admin and all that stuff, and just focus on what it is in your business that's important, the thing that you were born to do, the thing the world needs you for. Okay? That is what's important. That is why being lazy is important. And that's why laziness has a value. Because I'm going to give you some homework today. I don't know whether I've ever done this before, and I'd like some feedback on it as well. Let me know. Here's my email address. Let me know at some point when you've tried this out what your results were. I'm really curious to know, genuinely, how you got on. Look at your day, look at your activities, and look at where you can shave off time and effort. Where can you be lazy? Right? What could you potentially delegate to somebody? We're going to talk about delegation next week, probably. How can you save time and effort? How can you make your life easier? Okay, that's so important. The person I was talking to this morning said a couple of times, I feel so overwhelmed. That's exactly what I'm trying to take away, your overwhelm. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, send me an email or go to my calendar and book an appointment, and we can talk and figure out, get you started on the process of figuring out what's really important and what isn't important. What you actually need to be spending your time doing and what you don't actually need to be spending your time doing. Okay. Turn away from time wasting activities. You've heard me talk previously about income generating activities, right? Income generating activities. That's the value. That's where your business flourishes, because you're helping the people you need to help. And that's what you should be doing. Now, the other activities that don't directly generate income, like doing your emails and that kind of stuff, still need to be done. So we're going to find a really efficient way of doing them. So let me know, once you've reviewed your activities and the time it takes, where you've been able to shave off some time and effort. It's not just about time, it's about your effort, right? See where you've managed to save some effort. Review my Google video, because you might get lots of tips there about how to make life easier, including things like, automated emails and stuff like that. And that's only the beginning. That's a free system that you can easily use. We have so much more, and so much more coming in terms of effort saving and time saving technology. Anyway, let me know how much effort and time you manage to shave off your working life. And if you need help, book an appointment with me. And if you have questions, email me. And you can check out our website, myhomebiz.tips, where you'll find links to all sorts of things and articles we've written and whatnot, where you might find some help as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it for today. The value of laziness is that it helps you streamline your activity, so you focus on what's important in terms of helping people and making money, and you don't become overwhelmed. That's the value of laziness. What do you think about it? Let me know, and let me know whether you managed to shave off some effort to your whatever it was that you're doing every day that could potentially be made more efficient. Let me know how you got on. It's a good experiment. Okay, I'm looking now for the button for the titles, but I don't know whether I can find those. It seems every time I touch something, it all moves out of place anyway. So we'll be title free today, and by next week I'll have figured this all out. All right then, my friends. Thank you so much for visiting with me today. See you again next week. Bye-bye.